Paul promoting it. It's just like doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad.
I am seeing reports online that Jake Paul might be fighting Francis Ngannou, which is just absolutely bloody ridiculous.
Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis, the fight is in jeopardy, and it's for a reason that I think you all believe, but maybe can't believe is happening again.
Joe Rogan is shocked after hearing reports that the Netflix-streamed Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis exhibition fight might not happen. What was supposed to be another big-money boxing event has suddenly turned into legal problems and social media chaos.
If you know the situation, it was supposed to be boxing Gervonta Tank Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled.
Reports now say Gervonta Davis is facing new legal trouble, a civil lawsuit filed by a former partner with serious claims. This situation has put his highly promoted November exhibition with Jake Paul at real risk. Many outlets are highlighting the lawsuit, the possibility of unrest, and the new allegations that appeared at the end of October.
And I don't know nothing. And don't take my advice.
I love the Saudis.
Don't take my opinion.
I love the Israeli government. I love everybody.
That had nothing to do with them. That was Jake Paul promoting it. It's just doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it
it
bothers
is
the fuck out
hard.
of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird.
They're just trying to draw you in.
thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to.
Davis already has a messy legal history that keeps returning to the spotlight. Earlier this year, he was arrested in South Florida on a misdemeanor battery charge, a widely reported incident. His older cases have gone back and forth between dropped charges and plea deals. Because of this history, promoters and fans feel this new legal issue is much more serious than before.
Reports online that Jake Paul might be fighting Francis Ngannou, which is just absolutely bloody.
Meanwhile, Dame Margara wrote on X that the fight is being postponed, saying, "Update. I'm hearing it's being postponed. Not sure on the new date, but I'm about 80% sure the November 14th event is cancelled." This suggests organizers are planning to reschedule the fight, possibly to avoid complications and build better hype. The promotion for Jake Paul vs. Davis has been huge, with lots of money spent on ads, interviews, and social media. But despite all the hype, ticket sales have been surprisingly low. Many reports say the lack of fan interest is raising doubts about whether the event will even happen.
Fire. And when his fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess, not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in his happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference, I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up, because I feel like there's a chance that could be more entertaining than the actual fight.
Fans and analysts are confused about the purpose of this fight. Many wonder why Jake Paul even agreed to face Gervonta Davis when there seems to be no real benefit for him. The match looks unnecessary and has failed to generate real excitement. Ticket sales remain weak, and many fans online are calling the fight pointless. People feel the matchup offers nothing new and lacks meaning. Jake Paul is known for attention-grabbing fights, but this time the idea isn't connecting. Unlike his past fights with more balanced opponents, this matchup feels odd and directionless. Observers think Jake is attempting to stay relevant, but the strategy may not be working anymore. That's why advertising, interviews, and promotion still haven't improved ticket sales.
Pack it up. It's over with, because the fight makes no sense. It doesn't even make sense for Jake. For all the things Jake's talking about doing, it makes no sense for him. Again, money, sure. If it makes dollars make sense, okay, fine. But I want to see Jake in competitive matchups where I am interested in the outcome. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in the outcome of this. I was interested in Floyd versus Logan because there was an idea that Floyd was a little slower, a little older, and Logan would be able to knock him out. If Jake knocks Tank out, so what? What does that do for him? Because he said he could beat Canelo. He said he could beat Anthony Joshua. This one to me, like, I've gotten on board with a lot of Jake fights because they've made sense, right? To me, they've made sense. Even Julio Cesar Chavez, after he's already beaten the guy that beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he beat Anderson Silva a couple of years back now. This one still kind of makes sense because you're getting maybe a better version of Chavez, and he's around the same weight now. When you talk about the Tank fight, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But let's take a look at what he said to Ariel Helwani and see how he explains this fight.
Was the next one Tank?
Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back, and then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
Again, I just don't know why would this be where you go? Like the Mike Tyson thing, I could kind of understand because it's Mike and it's an exhibition and he's retired. Tank still being in the competitive nature of the sport throws this one completely off for me. And the fact that Jake is like 60 pounds bigger than he is. Right? Like, Mike was obviously far older than Jake, and that was the big knock on that fight. Mike should not have been in there with Jake. Said that many times. Jake has fought so hard against people saying he's bad for the sport. He's bad for the sport. He doesn't actually want to fight or step up or do any of this stuff. And I've kind of had his back when I'm like, no, he is doing what most boxers have done early in their career. But this gives those people more ammo to be like, yeah, bro, look, this is what we're talking about. When we say he's bad for the sport, or when we say that he's doing stuff that doesn't make sense and he's making a mockery of things, this is what they're talking about. And again, I wouldn't have any problem with it if Tank was way past the point where he could fight competitively at his weight class and have fights with guys like Shakur Stevens, or even, again, rematching.
The fight rules have also confused fans. It has been confirmed as an exhibition at a max weight of 195 pounds, with both fighters required to wear 12-ounce gloves. These rules make the event feel more like entertainment than a real competition. Many viewers see it as a promotional stunt meant for casual audiences, not true boxing fans. Because Jake Paul is much bigger than Gervonta Davis, the rules were likely adjusted for safety, but even then, the matchup still doesn't feel fair or meaningful.
Paul versus Tank Davis press conference just went down, and the official rules for the fight have also been announced. So the fight will take place at 195 pounds, so 60 pounds higher than Tank normally fights at lightweight, and lower than what Jake has been fighting at cruiserweight and heavyweight. The fight will also be 10 rounds and 3-minute rounds each. So exhibitions are usually 2-minute rounds, but this will be 3-minute rounds like a pro fight, and 10 rounds is almost as long as a championship fight. They'll have 12-ounce gloves, so 2 ounces larger than usual, and there'll be 3 judges ringside to decide a winner. So unlike normal exhibitions where there is no winner, if this fight does go to decision, they will have scorecards to decide who wins. Now in the press conference, Tank was asked why he's taking this fight and not the Lamont Roach rematch, and he said he's doing what's best for him and his family. The media always switch up on him after one fight, and this is what he wants to do. He also said that Jake is a decent fighter, but taller fighters struggle with shorter fighters, and he's gonna frustrate Jake, and after a couple of rounds, everyone knows what's gonna happen. Now Jake, he promised to knock Tank out. He said that Tank has holes in his defense, gets frustrated, and we saw what a 135-pound Roach did to him, so he's gonna knock him out. Jake also said that he still wants Canelo even though he lost to Crawford. And he said after he gets through Tank, Canelo's gonna be on his list. And then we had the face-off with a noticeable size difference, but that was the first press conference. And I'm glad there's gonna be a winner, because I do